He's listening to our phone. I get what's known. You got to turn off your phone. Get off the computers. Say the drones are watching us. Drones are watching us right now. They're watching us. I think we're snowed. I think we're snowed. Turn off your phones. Turn off your computers.
Welcome. Red means on, green means off, because it has a plus. Okay, there's a little red dot, it means it's on.
So that's recording now, or is it stopped?
It's up to you. You can do it now or when I'm through with this short speech. Oliver Dunlap was to play Edward Snowden. When he left today, someone said, break a leg. Well, Oliver was playing basketball at lunchtime, and he took them literally. So he is being operated on in the hospital for a broken leg. Therefore, the part of Edward Snowden will be played tonight by the author of our script, Mark Morodomi.
So it's recording, right?
Hi, Greenwald.
Hi, Snowden.
What's the story? Morning glory.
What's the tale? Nightingale. Tell me quick about the NSA.
Hi, Dive High.
Hi, boxer.
What's the story? Morning glory.
What's the word? Hummingbird.
Have you heard about the NSA?
Do they snoop in our phones? Every dollar email.
Dive leave me alone. This is a big deal.
Well, I heard they hear all.
Yeah, yeah.
These are hoping you're good.
Oh,
So don't call it the last.
yeah.
Kind of syndrome. This is Harvey Johnson. Can I speak to Al Zawahiri?
It's true about it.
Mohammed, it's me.
I just knew it somehow.
The NSA is listening.
I can talk to you now.
Well, they hear everything.
They just read all the facts.
NSA lost control.
I must stop them at last.
Up to no good.
CIA agent 006, CIA agent 008. No sign of suspect here in Terminal 1. Any sign in Terminal 2? Over.
No sign of nominee here. Any sign of nominee in Terminal 2? Are you looking for him too?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. What's it to you?
I'm here to give him his Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
Nobel Peace Prize. That guy downloaded a ton of information from the National Security Agency and is now publishing it to the world. He's violated every state secrecy law in the books. Doesn't that guy know he's hurting national security? We're at war against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. They killed 3,000 innocent New Yorkers on 9/11. And they would do it again if we were not vigilant. The American public just doesn't realize how many attacks we've thwarted because of the data we collected.
That's true, but shouldn't you be applauding his courage? Your government, the NSA, didn't they go a little too far? It says here that
I'm not sure you want to be reading about Snowden on that.
Snowden's been telling everyone the NSA was supposedly hacking into everyone's emails, Facebook, even Xbox accounts, and eavesdropping on phone calls, tracking what pornography they were watching and following our Google searches.
Told you.
Well, it sounds like the NSA put together profiles on people that had their phone calls, text messages, emails, even mobile phone location data. It is really creepy, isn't it? Seems to me the point of protecting your country is to protect your freedom and privacy, right?
But it's not just protecting America. We work with intelligence agencies from countries like Great Britain, France, and Germany. Agencies that share information with us. With a guy like Edward Snowden stealing and leaking NSA secrets, are those guys really going to trust us with their intelligence? And to make matters worse, now the Chinese know what methods we're using to spy on them.
Well, that's exactly it. How is the rest of the world going to trust you if you're spying on their leaders? It says here
Hey, don't point that at me.
that we listened in on at least 35 heads of state, including German Prime Minister Angela Merkel. And you know how prickly she got when President Bush just tried to give her a little shoulder rub.
Well, that was creepy.
You're a weird one, Edward Snowden. You stole those secrets at the NSA, and you bolted off to Russia.
It's safer for me than the USA.
You've been acting most peculiar, telling some things but not everything you know.
Are you certain you're in the right here?
There's too much, still too much you have not heard to fear.
You're a weird one, Edward Snowden. A traitor or a hero, hard to tell. If you came back, we could find out.
What's important is the secrets that I tell. Phew, that was close.
Today you will hear an amazing story. A story of courage and cowardice, loyalty and betrayal, hope and despair. Some of the events you will see actually happen. Some of them may happen in the near future. And in the end, you, the members of the audience, will decide the fate of a man and get continuing education credits for it. Welcome to Moscow Airport and the Whistleblower Lounge. So what do you think? Edward Snowden, hero and nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? Or Edward Snowden, traitor? 18 U.S.C. 2381, not less than 5 years in prison, not less than a $10,000 fine, or death. How many of you think Edward Snowden is a hero and deserves the Nobel Peace Prize? How many of you think he's a traitor? Not enough of you are voting. We need a secret ballot. So, everybody close your eyes. Keep them closed, you too, just smiling. All right, now, no one can see how you vote. How many vote that Edward Snowden is a hero? How many vote that he's a traitor? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, lower your hands. You may open your eyes. You've decided the fate of Edward Snowden, and we will act that out in the final act. First, Demetrius Biller's story.
Is that seat taken?
No, I'm seated. Hi, I'm Edward Snowden.
Demetrius Biller. B-I-L-L-E-R. Attorney at law, formerly of Toyota Corporation.
Formerly. Why formerly?
That's a long story.
I'm all ears.
Well, it began in 2005. I was Toyota Motor Company's top in-house counsel for its national rollover program when my associate, Howard Lee Lyon, came running in.
Mr. Biller, we just got another rollover case.
But, let me guess, another roof cave-in.
Yes, 1997 Camry. Plaintiff's a teenage kid, Glinda Goodwitch, but she just broke a leg.
Not great, but she's lucky.
We're starting to get flooded with these cases.
Sales division says these cars are fine, that the lawsuits are just because greedy plaintiffs' attorneys are doing a sell job on their clients.
Right now, I'm just trying to answer the discoveries, but sales and engineering are both giving me the cold shoulder. I hate to ask, Mr. Biller, but can you pull rank and shake those documents loose? The judges don't look happy, and I think we're going to have serious problems if the other side doesn't start seeing some paper.
I'll see what I can do. I want to talk to the Vice President of Sales, Mr. Tim Mann. Hi, Tim. Demetrius Biller here. Discovery is due in that Glenda Goodwitch rollover case. Howard Lee says he is not getting the responsive documents from sales. Seeing as how you're Vice President of Sales, can you light a fire under the right people?
Demetrios, you have no idea what you're really asking for.
What?
A real response would...
They're just documents. Our cars are safe. You've been telling us...
Demetrios, have you heard of the books of knowledge?
Huh?
To properly respond to that plaintiff's attorney would be producing Toyota's technical books of knowledge, and that's not going to happen.
And what are the books of knowledge?
Well, if you haven't heard, then I'm not saying. And if I told you, I'd probably have to kill you. So you really don't want to know. And frankly, it really doesn't matter, because Goodwich's lawyer is not getting them. The corner office told you that you could settle for up to $1.5 million.
She's just got a broken leg. This makes no sense.
Let's just say that's the cost of doing business, and there won't be any business if we give that plaintiff Goodwich's attorney the books of knowledge.
But I'm not a car salesman. I'm a lawyer, for Pete's sake. My obligation, the court's order, is to produce all relevant, non-privileged documents.
Look, Biller, I'm sure the plaintiff's attorney will happily get Goodwich to settle once you dangle the $1.5 million offer in front of him. Everybody wins. Goodwich gets paid, the lawyer gets big attorney's fees, and Toyota moves forward. No one will worry about some bothersome discovery obligation.
That plaintiff Goodwich settled, but something was not right. So I went to the Toyota's GC, S. Carey Crow. Hi, Carey. I think we have a situation. As Toyota's GC, you need to know, we just paid $1.5 million to settle a broken leg. Now that I think about it, all of our settlements have been curiously generous.
Well, you know, here at Toyota, our motto is putting people first. And we pride ourselves...
What do you know about the books of knowledge?
Oh,
Sales said they wouldn't produce them and that we should happily settle the case at a premium.
that does make business sense.
We're lawyers! We had discovery obligations in that case and in every case. The cases keep rolling in. Are we going to settle every case at a premium? What happens when they don't settle? We are officers of the court. We cannot be suppressing evidence.
Listen, Demetrios, you're at Toyota. And at Toyota, our golden rule is to do anything to protect Toyota.
Anything?
We have one client, and our sole obligation is to Toyota. I expect you and every other attorney and legal to fall in line.
The cases kept rolling in. The stress from all that pressure and the ethical obligations, and the conflicts of my ethical obligations, started to literally kill me. I couldn't sleep, I lost weight, I had to get help. The doctor put me on 6 months of leave. 6 months later, I paid S. Carey Crow another visit.
Demetrios, I hope you're feeling better.
Don't I hope you're feeling better, me. I figured it out. Toyota has been trying to constructively discharge me by forcing me to practice law in an unethical manner. What you have asked me to do is pick between going to jail or losing my bar license. Well, I ain't doing neither. I'm doing neither. I'm finding myself a lawyer instead.
Whoa, Demetrios. Look, you've worked for Toyota a long time, and you've been a good employee. Let's discuss severance. We're willing to give you a severance package of, let's say, $3.7 million. All you have to do is sign this release right here. Promise you'll return any confidential documents you have, and promise you will not disclose Toyota's confidential information. One other thing. You have to agree to arbitrate any dispute about the severance or the release.
$3.7 million. A release, return of confidential documents, no disclosure, an arbitration clause. What the heck? Where do I sign?
You made the right decision. One more.
All right, one for you and one for me.
Thank you.
I'll take their $3.7 million, but that doesn't begin to make up for what they did to me. I don't trust them either. I'm gonna need a little insurance policy. Book of Knowledge, Volume 1. Book of Knowledge, Volume 2. And Book of Knowledge, Volume 3. I am not going to be their fall guy. Where are those other confidential documents? Here we go. You know, I really do feel awful for those victims. This might help them too. That was not the end of the story.
What happened next?
General Counselor Crow, you'll never believe what I came across on the internet. Look at Biller's website for his new consulting business. It's full of stuff about settlements or rollover cases and has all sorts of confidential information from Toyota documents. It even mentions the...
Oh no, the books of knowledge. I can't believe the Demetrios actually stole our documents. Get ready, Howard. This means war. Biller is going to regret he ever crossed his fingers while signing that deal with us. We'll sue him for everything.
Do you think we can win?
Biller's a lawyer, and Toyota was his client. He really stepped in it here. Biller violated the attorney-client privilege. But he's no Dodo. He's going to hit back. You better start looking at the crime fraud exception.
The what?
The crime fraud exception. California Evidence Code, Section 956. Basically, there is no privilege if the services of the lawyer were sought or obtained to enable or aid anyone to commit or plan to commit a crime or a fraud.
I'm on it.
So, what do you think? Demetrius Biller, hero for disclosing dangerous products and saving lives, or Demetrius Biller, villain for violating the code of professional responsibility and his duty to hold his client's secret inviolate? Who has a thought on this subject? Not all at once. We had prizes. Where'd they go? Where'd the prizes go?
Make it up
We'll have prizes for the next round. Yes?
I think it would depend on what he was disclosing. Like if he was using the confidential information just for his own benefit, it seems like that's a problem. But if he was actually disclosing it with the exception, maybe it's not so bad.
Because of, yes.
I don't think it matters. I think that if it was confidential, if he learned of it in the course of his representation of his client, it's privileged. And the crime fraud exception doesn't mean that you get to blow the whistle on your client if you've discovered that it or she has been committing a crime or a fraud. It means that the privilege doesn't apply if you are being utilized as an instrument in that crime, privilege, and fraud. So, while it might have been a nice thing for him to do, it was a violation of his, a real clear violation of his obligations to hold his client's secrets in confidence, which I might point out is a much higher obligation than an obligation to hold the government's misdeeds in confidence.
Suppose people are dying.
It's on my scale of things, it's unfortunate, but there's a
So
higher.
you think that's both correct and the law?
No,
rare-
actually, there is an exception. You're allowed to blow the whistle if it's necessary to prevent an imminent death.
So if these
At least
cars
under
are
the
still on the
ADA
road, it's okay, and if they're not on the road, it's not okay because nobody's dying? They're probably still on the road, right?
I think it's privileged. I don't think the exception applies.
Okay.
What do you
Give him
think?
a whistle. Somebody give him a whistle.
Judge Smiley, did you have?
I was just going to ask a question. Do we know if the offers to settle were dangled with the condition that they forego further discovery in the case?
In our play, yes. And I believe in real life, yes. Anyone else have a comment? Yes, sir.
Well, he's got to give the 3.7 million back, to close up his consulting office.
We'll get to that later. Oh, yes.
Oh, I think, well, it's interesting you say that, because if this guy decides that he's gonna go up his bar card, and he decides this is the right thing to do, in my eyes, that was courageous. We're talking about him still wanting to be a lawyer. And the fact is, what if he says, you know what, I can't live this way any longer, and I'm gonna do what's right, not what the law is actually telling me. And I do think in criminal law, that if you know that your client's gonna get up there and lie, you are not to ask any questions.
They
And
say that.
so-
Have you ever seen anyone actually do that?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, recently. So anyway, if you had to ask me if he's a hero, and he will give up his bar card, to me, he's a hero. Yeah.
But real life, being somewhat sloppy, he got $3.7 million for a non-disclosure.
But what if he doesn't spend 1 cent of it?
That's good for his children. Okay.
Is your company overbilling? Are there skeletons in the closet? You might have a whistle to blow. Follow the big yellow signs. Follow the big yellow signs. Are you overworked and underpaid? Are you underworked and unappreciated? You might have a whistle to blow. Follow the big yellow signs. Follow the big yellow signs. Are you nosy by nature? Do you have an axe to grind? You might have a whistle to blow. Follow the big yellow signs. Follow the big yellow signs. Just follow.
Follow the big yellow sign.
We need to find that wizard.
Follow the big yellow signs. Follow the big yellow signs.
Whoa, who are you guys?
Welcome to the Whistleblower Airlines VIP Lounge.
I'm whistleblower Dimitri Spiller, B-I-L-L-E-R.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm whistleblower Edward Snowden.
Oh my God, nice to meet you.
And if you're in the Whistleblower VIP Lounge, you must be whistleblower.
I'm Ricky Caballos.
Is it Ceballos or Ceballos?
Caballos. But like I said, just call me Ricky. I'm temporarily with the LA District Attorney's Office.
Temporarily? What does that mean?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
We're
All ears.
It all began in February 2000. I was a deputy district attorney and I wanted to do justice. And then the phone rang. LA County DA's office, this is Ricky Caballos, can I help you?
Yes, hello. My name is Dorothy Gill, and I'm the defense attorney in the State versus Innocente. I heard you're the assigned prosecutor. Your office issued a search warrant against my client, and I'm seeing some very serious defects in the warrant. Can you take a look at it and maybe explain to me if I'm missing something? Otherwise, I'm notifying you I'm going to file a motion.
A defective warrant? That's hard to believe. I'm just a calendar deputy, but I'm happy to take a look at it if it means avoiding your sure-to-be frivolous motion and wasting our time. So I hung up on her, and then I went and took a look at the scene where the search warrant was written. Got out my measuring tape. There was this driveway that the deputy said was gravel. Here, can you just hold that for a second? Thanks. and there were tire marks. That's all. Thank you. But I don't see any tire marks. I didn't see any tire marks. And they're supposed to be gravel. It just didn't make any sense at all. So I decided to call the deputy who wrote the search warrant. Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Deputy Represent, answer the phone.
This is Represent, can I help you?
Yeah, hi. This is Ricky Ceballos from the LADA's office. Can I speak to Deputy Sheriff Represent? Thanks. I'm taking a look at the Innocente warrant, and I've got to ask some questions.
You know, it's actually not a great time. I've got a ton of paperwork to do right now before I go home, but still need to handle the booking.
Wait a second, I just need a minute. I need to ask you about your search warrant affidavit for the Innocente case.
Just call later. I mean, better yet, talk to my partner.
No, your affidavit talks that you saw a long driveway, and the tire marks you saw on the driveway were also on the search warrant. I didn't see any tire marks. But Deputy Representative, I'm here at the scene. Could you just kind of talk to me now and give me your attention? There's no driveway. It's a separate road. And I've driven up and down the road, and I've measured it. I even had a helper help me measure it. You know, did you actually go to the crime scene?
I really don't have time for this right now.
Well, this is ridiculous.
I mean, I just wrote what the other deputies told me. I can't talk about this right now. You need to call me another time.
But we need to get Innocente. The whole thing smelled fishier than an all-you-can-eat night at Red Lobster. So I decided to write a memo to my boss about what I had found. I'm sure she'll do the right thing. Probably a dismissal for Innocente.
You go, Richard.
Thank you. So the district attorney, Gil Garcetti, read my memo and called me in for a meeting in his office.
Richard, thanks for the memo. And for doing all that work, extra work on the Innocente case. You really didn't have to spend all those extra hours looking into the crime scene and contacting the sheriff. You sure are thorough.
Thank you.
But you know we can't dismiss this case. We've been trying to get this guy for years. And every time he slipped our net. This is the one time we can get him. The evidence is exactly what we need to finally put that guy away. We'll fight this case, fight that motion, send Innocente where he belongs, and I'll get reelected.
No, but it's not about re-elections and it's not about putting people away just because the evidence fits this time. It's about justice. And there are so many misrepresentations in the search warrant affidavit. As I pointed out in my memo, see right there, that whole section?
Yes. Well, we've all read your memo, Richard. Thank you. But look, we just need to do our job here. And our job is to bring justice. And putting bad guys in prison is justice.
Usually, yeah, but not.
Plus, you know how stretched thin we are right now. Too many of those bad guys to get, and not enough time to dig so deep on all of our cases like you're doing.
But the justice, it's not, in this case, the
But nothing. You're a hard worker, Richard, and we all like you. So I'm going to transfer you to another division that really needs the help and guidance with someone who's as thorough as you are. How about School Truancy Division? That'll suit your talents. Thanks again.
Wow, that's some justice. They just ignored you? Didn't any of this come out?
Well, it had to come out when the defense attorney, Dorothy Gill, kept pushing on the mistakes in the affidavit. In the end, she actually subpoenaed me to testify for the defense.
And so the truth did come out, and the warrant was quashed?
No.
No? What?
The judge denied the challenge to the writ, and the case just went forward, just like the DA said.
Wow, that's some justice, LA style. And right on the heels of that Rampart scandal. At least things didn't get worse.
Well, they got worse for me. They denied me a promotion. Then they demoted me. But the worst thing, the absolute worst thing that they did was transfer me to Lancaster. Just to get to work, I had to take the Interstate 605, then the 405, then the 110, then the 10, then the 101, the 131, the 210, the 5, and then the I-5, 14.
Sounds like a typical LA commute to me. Tell me at least that they didn't get away with it, this bad treatment.
Well, I didn't want them to. I was seeking justice. If not for Innocente, then for me. I sued them with a Section 1983 civil rights case. I complained that the DA's office retaliated against me for exercising my First Amendment right when I wrote the memo to the DA. I lost at the trial court. But then we appealed to the Ninth Circuit, and I won. Then LA County appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court, Richard Ceballos' memo was simply not protected speech under the First Amendment. Because he wrote the memos as part of his duties in the District Attorney's Office, Deputy District Attorney Ceballos should not be entitled to First Amendment protection for the memo's contents.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court, this case is about justice. My memo criticizing the warrant was protected speech. Under this court's precedent, the key issue is whether the expression at issue was made by the speaker as a citizen on matters of public concern. My memo was about governmental misconduct. It was inherently a matter of public concern. As a matter of public concern, you must balance the interest in my speech against my supervisor's interest in evaluating and then responding to it. The district attorney cannot show or even suggest any disruption or inefficiency in the workings of the office as a result of the memo, and the office's actions in response were not objectively reasonable.
So what did the Supreme Court decide?
After the first oral argument, they didn't decide. There was a tie. Then Justice Sandra Day O'Connor retired. Now I'm waiting for the president to appoint a new Supreme Court justice to redo the oral argument and break the tie.
Rich, how could you betray us? Oh.
Demetrios, how could you betray us? Stop! You betrayed the world! You let our secrets out! Stop! You betrayed the world!
You have not won me now. It ain't over.
It ain't all over! It ain't all over! It ain't all over!
He's supreme right here on our stage. So what do you think? Is Mr. Ceballos a hero for exercising his First Amendment rights and protected because he's revealing government misconduct? Or is he unprotected because he's just writing a letter to his boss and that's not First Amendment conduct? What do you think? So we don't have any prizes. They've all been given out. You have them already, so now you have to come through and participate. Who thinks that he should be able, as he's a district attorney, he sees that there are lies in a warrant, and he testifies, and as a result he suffers retribution on his job? Who thinks that he's protected under the First Amendment for revealing government misconduct, or that he should be?
You should be.
He should be. And how many think he is? You've been reading the advance sheets. Can anybody defend the U.S. Supreme Court? A decision they might make in the future in this play, that he's doing his job, and when you're doing your job as a governmental employee, you do not have First Amendment protection. Well, that's why we're a blue state.
Richard, while you were waiting for the Supreme Court to make its decision, you have to come with us.
Where?
There's a powerful wizard that gives great reward for whistleblowers like us. Maybe he can help you too.
Count me in. I'm in.
Follow the big yellow signs. 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 Oh, the big yellow sign. Hey, this is not the Wizard of Oz.
Sorry, got all carried away there. I think we're here.
Where'd the yellow signs go?
Oh, well, I think we're here. Go.
Hold on.
Have you seen the yellow signs? I don't know where.
Who goes there?
We're Edward Snowden, Dimitri Miller, and Richard Spires.
What do you want?
We're here to see the wizard.
There's nobody here by that name. Go away!
No, negative. Come back. We really want to see the wizard. Really want to.
Do any of you speak Latin? Now go away!
Wait, we were told the wizard had some magical powers and could award great riches to whistleblowers who uncover fraud and waste.
Oh! You want to see that wizard? Why didn't you say so? The great wizard Qui Tam pro domino rege quam pro se ipso in hoc parte sequitur. Let me translate. In English that means he who pursues action on their lord the king's behalf as well as on his own. People just call him the Wizard Qui Tam for short. Why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right.
Look at all the whistleblowers here. There's Daniel Ellsberg.
Wow. There's Deep Throat and somebody else who I don't know.
Rattling the end.
Oh, you're okay.
And over there's Frank Serpico and Karen Silkwood and who's that woman? Is it Monica? No, Linda Tripp. Linda Tripp. Whistleblower.
Now that you are in the land of Qui Tam, you will need to know Qui Tam language, not Latin. You are no longer whistleblowers. You are relators.
Ooh, relator. I like the sound of that. Relator. Some bios.
Relator Snowden.
Relator Pillar!
Yeah.
All right. There are two kinds of Qui Tam actions in California, based on federal law and based on state law. Under Pomona versus Superior Court, the state law actions can be decided based on federal law because the state statute is patterned after the federal statute. If you are a successful relator, you will have riches beyond your wildest dreams.
Riches?
Hooray!
What kind of riches?
Well, let's see. A Qui Tam defendant can be liable for 3 times damages and a penalty of up to $11,000 for each violation. The guard sounds a lot like the narrator. Under state law, if a private relator prosecutes the case himself, he may receive damages of between 25% and 50% of the take. If the government prosecutes, the relator need do nothing else, and yet they receive 15 to 33% of any recovery. Some relators have collected millions of dollars.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy a yacht with all of my money. I'm so excited.
I'm going to Hawaii, sit on the beach, and watch all the hula girls.
Oh, what a feeling! Toyota!
Not so fast. Not so fast. You will first have to pass the test the wizards gives you. Only the bravest and most perseverant relators, who also happen to have excellent counsel, can pass the test. And the wizard is through these doors. Good luck to you.
Come forward!
I wanna go in. Okay.
And powerful. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm relator Edward Snowden, the small and meek.
I am related to Dimitri Miller, B-double-I-L-R-E-R.
I'm Relator Richard Ceballos.
Silence! I know who you are. What do you want? Now tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
We'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want.
Now tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
We'll tell you what you want, what we really, really want. We want it. We want it. We want it. We want it. We really, really want it.
Oh, why didn't you say so? That's a horse of a different color.
We got it.
The great and powerful Qui Tam already knew why you had come without the agony of singing that horrible song.
This wizard, you know?
Before you can collect a Qui Tam award, you must pass my 3 tests. Step forward, Demetrius Miller.
You got it. You got it.
You dare to ask me for a Qui Tam award?
Yes?
The first test is whether you have filed the complaint properly. A Qui Tam complaint must be filed under seal. The complaint, along with a written disclosure of all material evidence and information that the plaintiff has, must be served immediately on the State Attorney General. But service is withheld from the defendant for at least 60 days. Relator Miller, did you complete the filing requirements?
Who the heck knew?
And dismissed! Silence! Step forward, Richard Ceballos.
Yeah, this is Ricky Ceballos.
The second test is jurisdiction. Action shall be dismissed if the same allegations have already been publicly disclosed. Mr. Ceballos, have the allegations you made been publicly disclosed?
Well, first, it's Ceballos. And 2, yes, but I am the original source of the information. I didn't copy the facts out of the newspaper. I'm the one who uncovered the wrongdoing.
Well, in that case, you may just meet the jurisdictional test.
Yes!
Step forward, Snowden and Ceballos. There's a third test. Has a false or fraudulent claim been made to a governmental agency for payment or approval? Edward Snowden and Richard Ceballos, does your whistleblowing concern someone who knowingly presented a false or fraudulent claim for payment or approval to the government? The bottom line is, are you blowing the whistle on someone who tried to cheat the government?
No, but my case is not about money. It's about something bigger, something greater. It's about our government defrauding us. The NSA in particular spying and lying to us, the American public.
Me too. Me too. Just like that. My case is about the government, the LA District Attorney's Office, lying.
Well, in that case, dismissed! Be gone, all of you! You have no Qui Tam cause of action!
Wait, we came all this way from the other side of the airport to see you, wizard, because we were told that you would reward us for our whistleblowing. What about the reward that was promised to us?
Yeah, reward.
Yeah, the reward!
Silence! You have failed all my Qui Tam tests, so I cannot award you a Qui Tam reward. I have to give the matter a little more thought. Go away and come back tomorrow!
Tomorrow? We have a connection to catch.
We can't come back tomorrow.
Do not raise the wrath of the great and powerful Qui Tam! Come back tomorrow, I said!
Wait!
Do you put the mediator on? You're right, I'm a lousy wizard.
What about the reward you promised us for being whistleblowers?
Well, Demetrius, you had what you've been looking for in your pocket all this time.
My severance agreement?
Exactly. Demetrius, take a look at Part 6, Chapter 6, Section 6, Paragraph 666.6.
That's the arbitration clause.
Yes, it is. And back where I come from, we have people that we call arbitrators. They get involved in disputes all the time when an employee is foolish enough to sign a severance agreement with an arbitration clause in it. But arbitrators have one thing that you haven't got, and I happen to have it right here. That's an arbitration decision. In your case, Miller, an arbitrator issued a decision, and here it is.
In the matter of the arbitration between Toyota Motor Sales and Demetrius P. Biller, JAMS number 12200400045, January 4, 2011, as an attorney, Mr. Biller had an ethical, statutory, and contractual duty to safeguard Toyota's confidential information and preserve Toyota's secrets, maintaining the confidence inviolate at every peril to himself. Instead, Mr. Biller did the professionally unthinkable and betrayed the confidences of his client. I can't read anymore.
Mr. Miller seeks to justify his disclosures as a necessity to protect the public in the courts. This claimed public-spirited motive is undermined by the fact that he accepted $3.7 million to not make disclosures and waited almost 2 years before making disclosures, regardless of motive. Mr. Miller's unprecedented ethical violations are unjustified. With few exceptions, an attorney may not reveal the client's confidences. This is the hallmark of the lawyer-client relationship. A lawyer acting as a whistleblower cannot simply decide to reveal a client's confidential information.
This isn't going to get worse, is it?
And there's more! Toyota should receive $2.5 million in damages from Biller for 10 disclosures, plus $100,000 in punitive damages.
How can I thank you enough?
Well, you can't. Now, Richard Sabalos,
Do I really want to know what you have to say?
I'm sure you do. Ever since you first found out about that botched search warrant affidavit, you said you've been seeking justice.
Yes, justice.
Seeking justice, always seeking justice. Well, back where I come from, we have people we call Bushes. George Herbert Walker Bush and George W. Bush. They were presidents.
I was hoping you were talking about like shrubs, small trees.
No, these are much more important than that. In fact, these kind of bushes keep whistleblowers busy all the time.
They do.
But the Bushes have one thing that you haven't got.
Just one?
Just one, and that's the power to make a Supreme Court appointment.
Yeah, I don't got that.
Because you're seeking justice, I'm going to give you justice. In fact, I'm going to give you a Supreme Court justice.
Oh.
Richard Sabalos, meet Samuel Alito, Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, appointed by President George W. Bush. He'll break the tie the tie vote in your case in the Supreme Court.
Pleased to meet you.
I will now read from the opinion of the court, written for the 5-4 majority by Justice Anthony Kennedy. The First Amendment does not prevent employees from being disciplined for expressions they make pursuant to their professional duties. Sabalos' statements were made pursuant to his duty as a deputy district attorney. Restricting such speech does not violate any rights that the employee had as a private citizen. Instead, the restrictions were simply the control an employer exercised over what the employer itself has commissioned or created.
What does that mean? Just, check in? What does that mean?
You lose.
That's why I voted for Carrie. That right there.
Hey, what about Eddie?
Yeah, what about Eddie?
Well, Edward Snowden, back where I come from, we have people that we call travel agents. They help whistleblowers all the time. But travel agents have one thing that you haven't got, Edward, and that's a plane ticket to Venezuela. In fact, you get to fly first class with the president of Bolivia, Evo Morales.
But I want to go back home to America, not Venezuela.
America? Why didn't you say so in the first place? All you have to do is close your eyes, put your head down, place your hands behind your back, lick your heels and say, "There's no place like Gitmo."
There's no place like Gitmo.
Some things in life are bad. They can make you really sad.
Other things can make you swear and curse. When you chewed hard on life's gristle, you tried to give a whistle. But things just didn't turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life.
If Russia seems real rotten, there's something you've forgotten. The world knows better, cause I did my thing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your wet lips and whistle, that's the thing. And
always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life.
Come on, everybody.
For life is quite absurd. Whistleblowing is just a word. You have to face the consequences with a bow. Forget Garcetti's sin. You've just got to grin. You tried, you lost. Who cares anyhow? And
always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life.
Life's not just Toyota, not even one iota. Life's a life, life's a laugh, and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show, keep 'em laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And
always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the light side of life. Always look on the bright side of life.
Barbara Boxer and LA District Attorney Gil Garcetti. Gil Garcetti lost his bid for re-election in 2000, and after leaving office, he was appointed to the Los Angeles Ethics Commission. Imagine that. His son is now mayor of Los Angeles.
I am Johanna Kwasniewski. I'm a solo practitioner in Oakland, and I played Ricky Ceballos, who is now working for the LA Public Defender's Office. So since the Supreme Court decision in my case, California passed a law that went into effect in January 1st, 2014, SB 496, and that law extends whistleblower protection to public employees who report illegal behavior or fraudulent behavior. So that part's not a joke. There might be other jokes, but that's actual, like, real legal knowledge for you guys. And more legal knowledge. Just last month in Demers versus Austin, the Ninth Circuit ruled that my case, the Garcetti-Ceballos case, applied to a whistleblower who was a public or teacher or professor in public schools. And so that teacher or professor did not have whistleblowing protection. Thank you.
I am Andy Wong. I am an assistant U.S. attorney here in this building. I played the role of Toyota whistleblower Demetrius Biller. Mr. Biller, rather than pay back the $3.7 million, decided to declare bankruptcy. He continues to argue that the crime fraud exception applies, and he's been fighting his case out of his garage.
Anton of the law offices of Joseph Welch in Walnut Creek. I played the roles of Diane Feinstein, the CIA agent, Toyota General Counsel S. Carrie Crook. The CIA is in deep doo-doo with Senator Feinstein, with Feinstein calling for hearings on whether the CIA violated the Constitution by searching Senate computers. The CIA says Democratic staffs hacked into the CIA's computer system.
I'm Mark Moridomi with the University of California General Counsel's Office. I played the role of Edward Snowden. Snowden is still in some undisclosed location in Russia. He recently asked Vladimir Putin on Russian national TV, does Russia intercept or store or analyze the communications of your citizens? And Premier Putin said, oh, we don't have such interception, it's against the law here.
Hello, I'm Heather Chang. I'm the criminal defense civil practice in Oakland, and I played the roles of the Norwegian, the lying, sneaky deputy represent, Cowardly Lion, and this represent is now retired, playing more and more Candy Crush as we go, and a finalist in the city manager job for Bell, California.
The music director for our team, and tonight I played the role of Samuel Alioto, who's one of our associate justices on the U.S. Supreme. Alito, sorry. I didn't know he was a cousin of Joe.
You sleep with the fishes.
Alito is still on the Supreme Court, and in cases where the Supreme Court has been split 5-4, Justice Alito has voted with Clarence Thomas 90.9% of the time. Alito's hobbies include watching the Philadelphia Phillies baseball and rolling his eyes when Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg reads her dissenting opinions. Thank you.
I'm Steve Kaus from the Alameda County Superior Court. I played the narrator, the guard, and Harvey Johnson. Harvey continues to play himself in community theater productions of Bye Bye Birdie throughout the world.
Hi, I'm Glenn Olean, available for appointment as a mediator and private judge with ADR Services Inc. in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and throughout the East Bay. I played the roles of reporter Glenn Greenwald, Tim Mann of Toyota, and also the Wizard. The Wizard is currently available as a very, very bad mediator, arbitrator, and private judge through jams, so hire me.
Produced and made for us to be able to have tonight. So thank you all very much.
Yes. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank everyone for another entertaining and educational year. We have one meeting left, which is the end of the year banquet in June. Sharon Braz is accepting auction items for our silent auction. We like wine as a group, generally. That's always a good donation.
We only have one so far.
You like one donation? So for those of you who are new to the inn, we have a silent auction at the end of the year, and the money that we gain from the silent auction funds our scholarship fund. And last year we were able to give 3 scholarships to graduating high school students. This year the scholarship committee, Shumsha's looking at me, is looking at the applications and making a determination about who is worthy and how much money we can give. So it's a great cause for local high school students in Alameda County. So please, if you have something that you would like to donate, please contact Sharon. If you don't, that's fine. You can always bid on the auction items in June. That is also welcome. For those of you who haven't renewed and are interested in rejoining next year, and of course we would like everyone to do that, please do so. You can do so online off our website, or you can talk to me or Palayo or Peter later on this evening. I thought I had one more thing that I needed to talk about, but I guess I've forgotten it. Thank you again, everyone. We'll see you at Scott's.